Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. It's Kato, and I'm here with your Survivor Series replay of the week, well, of the month, well, the year, I guess. It only happens one time a year, right? So I hope everyone has had a marvelous weekend, and let's go ahead and jump right into this show, man. We had a really good pay-per-view yet again. I feel like, man, WWE is on a roll as well. They're coming off a great Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, rolled into another really good Survivor Series pay-per-view. And then we will have the TLC to follow up. So, I mean, if everything goes as planned, these guys are going to finish off the year really strong. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and jump right into the matches and what happened on the night of Survivor Series, right? We had the men's 5-on-5 match to go ahead and jump off the pay-per-view. It was a really cool match in the sense that I feel like this year we really got a display of a lot of different styles and skill sets by each individual. I mean, you had Otis and Matt Riddle match up one time, and that was an awesome display of Matt Riddle using his grappling and all of his techniques to pretty much eliminate Otis' power game. And Otis is trying to use his power to pretty much, neutralize Matt Riddle's game. Everyone essentially got a chance to get in the ring and, display their abilities besides Seth Rollins. I mean, he pretty much came in and sacrificed himself. He was in the match no more than about 20 seconds, actually being in the ring. So he came in, told Sheamus that, he's doing this for the greater good, sacrificed himself for a bro kick, and he was the first one gone out of off the SmackDown team. So being down 4-5 against this Raw team, this is a really big men's Raw team. Kevin Owens came out on fire. He hit everyone with a series of stunners before he was eventually eliminated by AJ Styles. And then with some good teamwork shown by Team Raw, Matt Riddle was able to eliminate Corbin, leaving Jey Uso and Otis left as in a 2-on-5 situation. Now, we already know that Jey Uso has lost his last 2 matches, so you have to think that he at least have to get some type of elimination going. At least he has a powerhouse left in Otis, so that may help him a little bit, but things did not get any better for the SmackDown team when Braun took out Otis with a big power slam, man. It was crazy to see him, walking around with Otis on his shoulder, because Otis isn't a small guy. So with SmackDown being down 5-1, ultimately you knew what was going to happen. Jey Uso could not overcome the odds, and they would definitely fall to the Raw team. It's crazy because the Raw men's did not lose a single person. All right, they did not lose a single guy in this whole match, and these guys had the worst issues coming into the Survivor Series pay-per-view. They couldn't stop beating up each other. Nonetheless, how they gonna come and display great teamwork tonight? But they did. They got it done, and no one was eliminated. So I thought that was a nice little twist on the men's Raw team to be able to come together. Now, the next match of the evening, we had one of the best matches of the night. I think it's my best match of the night. That's where I'll put it at. I'll let you guys place it where you wanna. But we had the New Day going against the Street Profits. Now, the New Day was reunited for one day, and they came out sporting their, Gears of War uniforms. I thought that was pretty cool, so I had to go ahead and mention that. But the Street Profits, they started out the match really hot against the veteran team. But the veteran team in the New Day, they quickly extinguished that flame, that the Street Profits came out with. They started to slow the match down. They started to work on the midsection of Ford. He loves to do that frog splash. His moves really high impact and high flying. So you take away that core, or if they would have took away some the leg, maybe worked on the leg a little bit, that takes away some of his ability to do all those high flying moves. Now, the Street Profits managed to overcome. They kept Ford isolated for a while, but once he was able to make that tag, they was able to pretty much pick up that momentum that they had left off with in the beginning of the match. Now, one thing I liked about the Street Profits and what they did today, they came out with a new variety of tag team moves. I think this was to throw the New Day off their game plan, which I think it actually worked. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't just the same Street. He wasn't able to go look on film and know what the Profits was going to come in and do. You know what I'm saying? And I think that kind of threw off the New Day a little bit. So I like the fact that they added some new tag team moves in their offensive arsenal. Now, Ford showed great resiliency kicking out the midnight hour, man. That's a move that not too many guys have kicked out from. So him being able to do so, it just showed you not only the caliber of match, but how serious the Profits was taking this match. And they came out not wanting to lose at all. Now, Kofi Kingston also had his toughness on display when he kicked out of that far splash by Ford. Now, I believe this is the first person to ever kick out of that far splash that I've seen so far. So, with that said, you know, kudos to Kofi. But I will say all the work that he did earlier in the day to Ford working on this midsection, that cost him. Because once he hit that frog splash, he couldn't just roll over right into that pin. It hurt him almost as much as it hurt Kofi, so it took him a while to get into that pin, which probably allowed Kofi the time he needed to be able to kick out from that from the 3 count. But nonetheless, the Profits, man, they pushed through. They kept fighting, and they actually managed to put away the New Day, with Ford hitting a blockbuster to Woods off the shoulder of Dawkins. Now, this is what I'm talking about, man. Just adding these offensive move sets. Now, they could have easily hit a Doomsday, right? Nah. These dudes hit a blockbuster off the shoulder of Dawkins to put away the New Day. I do not think this is the last time we see these tag teams, you know, get it on with each other. So if you've been keeping track so far, the Raw team is up 1 point. The SmackDown team has 1 point. I'm sorry, Raw team's not up. Raw and SmackDown both have 1 point apiece. And we roll right into this Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley match. Now, Sami Zayn wanted no parts of Bobby Lashley, all right? No parts. I like the way the Hurt Business came out. They looked like they was dressed for business, all black. You know, you had the whole Hurt Business around outside the ring. So Sami Zayn, he tried to get away multiple times. They wasn't letting it happen. He wanted to get a count out, wasn't letting it happen. He wanted to run, wasn't letting it happen. No DQs, nothing like that. They forced Sami Zayn to actually fight Bobby Lashley. And I've been saying this for a while. Bobby Lashley is on another tier, all right? Yes, he's your United States champion, and I think he's the only the reason he's the U.S. champion is because there are so many guys right now on Raw that's in the world title picture that they pretty much had to roll him back a little bit, but they knew that he was a champion of some sorts. All right, so this guy, Bobby Lashley, he pretty much dominated most of the match. He dominated Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn eventually found himself in that hurt lock, passing out. So everything that he was talking on SmackDown, he pretty much could not back it up tonight. Bobby Lashley proved to be a force to be reckoned with, and I can't wait for, you know, a legit contender to challenge him on Raw. Hopefully we can get to like a Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, or Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley. I think those would be some good pairings and matchups with him, especially with the Hurt Business really not interfering in his matches. They're kind of letting them, you know, fight a one-on-one match, even though they're on the outside of the ring, sometimes not even being out there at all. So with that win, it puts the Raw team up 2-1 over top of SmackDown. Now, after that match, we finally got the segment I've been wanting anyway. The segment where Roman Reigns is actually setting Jay straight about losing his 3rd match in a row. He lost to Drew McIntyre. Nothing really came of it. He lost to Daniel Bryan last week. Nothing really came of it. Tonight, with him losing that 5-on-5 match, Roman Reigns had to really set him straight and actually kick him out of the arena with Jimmy. Jimmy was on the was in this segment as well. Jimmy was like, "Come on, man, we don't need have to take this." Roman Reigns quickly reminded him, "Yes, you do. A matter of fact, just get out of my sight, get out of my arena." So he kicked Jay out the arena because he was so disappointed and disgusted at him. All right, so we move on to this Sasha Banks and Asuka match. Now, these two know each other so well. I mean, just think back a few short months ago, we was watching these two women fight for the Raw Women's Championship, and those matches were really good. Now we get that pay-per-view quality match. It's even better than the matches they put on before. These two know each other so well, so it was like they was countering each other. They was like one step ahead of each other the whole match. Watching these two just make me feel like WWE has the cream of the crop when it comes to female wrestlers, man. I don't know if it's their, selection process of who they pick. I don't know if it's their training process and how they, round off all their female athletes, but they have just the superb roster of female wrestlers. I mean, if you're a female wrestler on the Raw roster, you can go. And I don't mean just go in the sense of a woman, going against a woman, like a women's match. I mean, their women's match oftentimes outshine a lot of the men's matches on that same card. Like, they put on very entertaining matches, and if you miss one of these women matches, you're going to probably miss something that you never seen before. And I don't mean something that you never seen a woman done before. I mean something that you have never seen before, period. It's like the women are going back and saying, okay, let's find something that's never been done and let's go and try to do it. And I have to just commend the WWE in their women's roster, man, because this roster is stacked. And I mean from Raw, SmackDown to NXT, like, these guys are stacked. So I really enjoy all the women matches that they've been putting on, especially this year. All right, but nonetheless, we did have a great match. It was back and forth the whole way, but Sasha Banks ended up getting the win over Asuka, being a roll-up pin. Now, you know me, we talked about this before. I love roll-up victories. I love roll-up victories when they make sense. In a match like this where these two know each other very well, they're able to escape each other's holds and moves and finishings. Like, so I need to find another way to put you away. Now, I did believe that Asuka would attack Banks and turn heel after this match, but she didn't. But she did have a look on her face of, disbelief, and she looked pretty much upset. So I don't know if they're still heading towards the Asuka turn, but I would be a fan. So now the SmackDown and Raw brands are tied up 2-2 at this point. We roll right into our 5-on-5 Women's Survivor Series match. Now, before the match even started, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler pretty much said it straight. Look, Lana, at no point do you tag in this match. At no point are you to enter this match. Sure enough, the match gets started. And it was Raw who actually struck the first blow. It was a major blow because it was Peyton Royce actually eliminating Bayley, the SmackDown's women's team captain, from the match. Now, that's a huge blow because, and she was kind of, the backbone of the SmackDown team that Adam Pearce thought would bring it all together. So eliminating her first, that was a really big blow. Now, SmackDown with no captain, luckily they still have Natalya, and she was able to even the odds by eliminating Peyton Royce with a sharpshooter, but that didn't last long because Lacey Evans would put Natty down with a women's right, and Raw was right back up with the one-woman advantage. Now, the major problem for the SmackDown side of things was not only are they down a woman, but they have no more vets on the SmackDown team. So you have a young powerhouse in Bianca Belair, and you have a true tag team in the Riot Squad. But will that be enough to get it done? Ruby found herself eliminated by Baszler after being put to sleep. Now, let's make this clear. If you have not seen the Survivor Series match, when Baszler had Ruby Riott inside of this clutch, Ruby Riott actually had Baszler inside the pin. She rolled her up and put her inside the pin, but Nia Jax had the referee distracted. Now, in the midst of having her in this pin for so long and Baszler not releasing that chokehold, she pretty much put Ruby Riott to sleep. So by the time the ref turned around, Ruby Riott was out. Shayna Baszler, at that point, all she had to do was pin her because Ruby Riott was put to sleep. So SmackDown found themselves down 4-2. Now, what I liked about Liv Morgan came right in fired up, and she put Evans away with a nice crucifix bomb. Liv Morgan was pretty much going off the momentum of seeing her friend put to sleep, and she came out fired up. But Nia Jax managed to put away Liv Morgan with a Samoan drop for the 3 count. Now, Belair found herself in a 1-3 situation. I guess we could say a 1-2 situation for the fact that Lana was told to not move and sit on the steps and do not come back inside this ring. Now, the EST of the WWE showed why she was the toughest tonight when she fought off the tag team champions, eliminating them both. But in the midst of eliminating them both, eliminating Baszler first and then second Nia Jax, her and Nia Jax actually fought outside of the ring and had a double count out. So yes, she eliminated Nia Jax, but Lana was still standing on the steps where she was told not to move from. So the sole survivor of the Raw women's team was no one other than Lana. Yes, Lana was the reason that the women's team won this match. So it's going to be interesting. Oh, and she did not go through a table. So that was pretty good as well. She didn't go through a table this week. So, well, tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on Monday Night Raw. Now with that match, Raw did go up 3-2 on the SmackDown brand. But we have one more match. We have our main event with Roman Reigns, the SmackDown champion, the tribal chief, going against the Scottish Nightmare, Drew McIntyre, the Raw champion, all right? This match has a WrestleMania type feel match. I don't care what no one say. I don't care if they say I didn't like the match. I hated the match. This match had so much storytelling inside of the match that it made sense to put together. But I will get to that in another pay-per-view and really break down what was going on during, after, and behind the scenes with this match and what it could possibly lead to in the future because you had this match go on. All right. Now, it had a WrestleMania type feel match, right? The way their entrances, the way they both came out, they both took this match very serious. This was a match where not only was it for like brand supremacy, but it was also your world champion versus your world champions to see who is the true #1 champion in the WWE. That's what it really came down to. It wasn't about SmackDown versus Raw. When you got these two guys going at it, Drew McIntyre wants to show Roman, no, I'm the man. I took over your spot while you was out on vacation. And Roman's saying, look, you're #2. While I'm sitting out when I'm busy or I don't feel like doing it, they go send you to do that stuff. I'm the true #1. So this match had really big implications on not only the brand versus brand, but that world heavyweight, universal title picture alone. All right, so these two was even, man. These two was an even matchup. Even matchup, but the match quickly escalated. Drew McIntyre went through a table early on. Roman put him through the barricade early on, but that still wasn't enough to put Drew McIntyre away. But he still had fight in him. He still kept going. Roman threw him in the ring. Couldn't put him away. So going through a table, going through a barricade, did not put Drew McIntyre away. Roman Reigns hit him with a big spear right after that. Didn't put the Drew McIntyre away. He still managed to kick out. And this was some hard-hitting back and forth action. Now, Drew managed to hit Roman Reigns finally with that Claymore kick, sending Roman Reigns into the official, not the official, outside of the ring. Now, this is where things get interesting. This is the part of the match that I really wanted to see and what would actually happen. Because you had Jey Uso make his way down to the ring. All right? 1, Jey was told to get out the arena and not come back for the night, to get out of Roman Reigns' sight. 2, how would Jey feel about that? Would he help Drew McIntyre win to stick it to his cousin? Would he help Roman Reigns in and stick with the family? Well, those questions was quickly answered when he gave a super kick to Drew McIntyre, allowing Roman Reigns to be able to lock Drew into that guillotine lock and put Drew away. Now it appears that Jey has finally did what he needed to do to get in Roman Reigns' good graces. After the match, Roman was on top of the ramp. Jey Uso was on top of the ramp. Roman looked at him as if to say, one of two things. I didn't need your help, or a simple thank you. It was the simple thank you that Roman Reigns decided to go with. He gave him a hug. And Uso kept saying, this for the family. I got you. Now, if we get to a situation where Roman Reigns truly lets Jey Uso win. I'm not talking about having him sit outside the locker room. I'm talking about these guys inside the locker room together with Paul Heyman. All right? All these guys in the locker room. And Jey truly started to embrace the fact that, hey, I don't need anyone else on this SmackDown roster to be friends with me long as I got my family with me. If they start to truly embrace that mode, I don't see anyone on the SmackDown roster being able to stop these guys. You had Drew McIntyre. He gave up a hell of a fight, but he couldn't put Roman away. Not when he had Jey Uso on the outside of the ring lurking. Paul Heyman didn't really do much to interfere in this match at all. Now, when we go to the SmackDown roster, we have to look who's on the level of a Drew McIntyre right now. Who's going to be able to take out Roman Reigns? That's a question that will be answered in another video later on. But that was our Survivor Series replay, right? We had SmackDown and Raw split. It was a 3-3, but I'm going to go ahead and give a nod to the SmackDown for the fact that their Universal Champion beat the World Champion Drew McIntyre. So I'm going to say SmackDown went ahead and won this match. Well, won this pay-per-view. I'm going to say they got the one leg up. Now, as a whole, I think this pay-per-view was really another good pay-per-view. It was a really solid pay-per-view. The 5-on-5 men's team, I think that's going to lead to something else going on tonight. Pretty much showing, hey, them pretty much arguing who was more dominant inside the match. And I think that'll lead to a pretty good feud or storyline going on. As far as the tag team match, I believe that was pretty much like a passing of the torch. That's pretty much letting you know, hey, the Profits are now one of these elite tag teams in the WWE tag team division, SmackDown and Raw side. Hopefully, we'll get to a point where the Usos are back together and we can see the Usos mix it up with the Profits, and the Profits mix it up with the New Day a little longer. Maybe a tag team triangle match between the teams, because these are some of our top teams. And mind you, we still have some really good teams down at NXT that have yet to come up. So it's interesting, man. It's interesting. It's going to be really good to watch this tag team division going forward. Sami Zayn, that didn't really do much, but he pretty much played into the role and character that he's been playing on weeks leading up to this. And everything's a conspiracy for Sami. So that wasn't too bad. The Asuka match in Banks, that was really good. It showed that Banks was able to put away another top opponent. I know this wasn't a title defense, but it felt like one. You know, Banks isn't, normally able to defend that title on her own for a long stint of time. So for her to be able to knock off someone the caliber of Asuka, it has to make you think that Mella might not be able to beat her when that feud finally gets started and gets going. So that was great momentum for Banks. Pretty much here going into the TLC pay-per-view to end off the year. Lana, I'm not sure exactly at all what they're doing with Lana, where they're trying to make that match go or make that go. As far as I'm concerned, they will be building a baby face to come in to help her, because I don't really see her going on a long run, actually knocking off, opponent after opponent after opponent, only to get the Asuka to tap out yet a third time within, months? I don't see that happening. And as far as the main event, I'm telling you, these guys did exactly what they were supposed to do to advance the Drew McIntyre storyline, to advance Roman Reigns and Jey Uso storyline. The only thing I want to see now, you guys had 2 to 3 weeks, all right? 2 to 3 weeks to pretty much put together who your next challenger is going to be for each title. That's what I want to see now. Which guys did they select to go after the Raw Championship, and who did they select to go after the SmackDown Championship? Because that's going to be very important going forward, especially going to the Royal Rumble and getting ready for WrestleMania season. All right. But that was your Survivor Series replay. Once again, let me know what you guys think about the pay-per-view as a whole. Let me know what you guys thought about the main event. Let me know what you guys think about Lana. Where do you guys see that thing going? Do you think it's pointless? Do you think she's going to be an ultimate babyface? Do you think she can, go ahead and start winning some big matches? Let me know what you think about Asuka and Banks. And of course, do you think the New Day has passed the torch to the Street Profits? And what was your favorite match of the night? Go ahead and drop that down in the comment section below or in the DM. And I'll be sure to get back and respond to you all. All right. Now, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. We are looking to hit 100 subscribers. Once we do, we will start our monthly merch giveaway. All right, the monthly merch giveaway. To enter, all you have to do is like on a video, comment on any video. The more you like, the more you comment, the more we're going to see your name and the more you're going to stick out to us, which better your odds of actually winning the merch giveaway. All right. I'm Kato. I'm signing out. Peace.